Oldest newspaper. Which is the oldest newspaper in the world? The modern newspaper is a European invention. The oldest direct handwritten news sheets circulated widely in Venice as early as 1566. These weekly news sheets were full of information on wars and politics in Italy and Europe. The first printed newspapers were published weekly in Germany from 1605. Typically, they were censored by the government, especially in France, and reported mostly foreign news and current prices. In 1695, newspapers flourished in London and a few other cities including Boston and Philadelphia. By the 1830s, high-speed presses could print thousands of papers cheaply, allowing low daily costs. The London Gazette, an official gazette of the UK government that does not report the news, dates back to 1665. The world's oldest surviving national newspaper is now thought to be the German publication Hildesheimer Allgemeine Zeitung, which was first published in 1705. However, the relation is recognized by the World Association of Newspapers as well as many authors as the world's first newspaper. The German relation was published in Strasbourg, which had the status of an imperial free city in the Holy Roman Empire of the German nation. Who created the first newspaper? The newsletter, usually accorded primacy as a definite newspaper, is the relation of Strasbourg, first printed in 1609 by Johann Carolus. A close rival is the Avisa relation order Zeitung. Zeitung is the German word for newspaper, founded in the same year by Heinrich Julius, Duke of Brunswick, Wolfenbüttel. What was the first English newspaper? The Oxford Gazette was established as a government newsbook in 1665 and succeeded by London Gazette in 1666. Its format as a single sheet printed on both sides earned it a description as the first English newspaper. On 7th November 1665, the London Gazette, at first called the Oxford Gazette, began publication. It decisively changed the look of English newsprinting, echoing the Courant format of 2 columns, a clear title and a clear date. It was published twice a week. Other English papers started to publish 3 times a week, and later first daily papers emerged. Which is Asia's oldest newspaper? The Mumbai Samachar, Asia's oldest continuously published newspaper, was first published on the 1st of July 1822 and comprised 3 small quarto sheets. The Mumbai Samachar was 10 inches by 8 inches in size. With a half-sheet supplement, it contained altogether 14 pages of printed matter. The Golden Age of the Newspaper is a book by George H. Douglas which traces the development of newspapers in the US during their golden age, which is 1830 to 1930, including influential publishers and journalists and the increasingly important role newspapers played in American life. It also examines technological innovations in papermaking, typesetting and printing that made it possible for metropolitan dailies to reach hundreds of thousands of readers. This book is part of National Postal Museum Library collection, which includes titles relevant to the broader history of communication in America. Although movable type printing was invented in China, Germany at the time, the Holy Roman Empire of the German nation, was the first European country to independently invent it, and the world's first newspapers were produced in the German states. How many different newspapers are there in USA? According to the most recent available data, there were 1,279 daily newspapers in the United States in 2018. The number of daily newspapers in the US has been on the decline since 1970, when there were 1,748 daily news publications in the country. The data on books published displayed on Worldometer counter is based on statistics elaborated by WAN, the Paris-based World Association of Newspapers, which represents 18,000 newspapers. Its membership includes 76 national newspaper associations, newspaper companies, and individual newspaper executives in 102 countries. All newspapers cater to what is generally called the public's right to know. The principles on right to information legislation goes like this. The right to information implies not only that public bodies respond to requests for information, but also that they proactively publish and disseminate widely information of significant public interest, subject only to reasonable limits based on resources and capacity. This is what Ceylon today truly believes in, what we constantly try to uphold. Thank you.